Everyone. So some comedians make you laugh, others make you feel like you know them, and there are rare ones like Ralphie May, who do both while quietly falling apart behind the scenes. Come What May takes a deeply personal look at the life of the iconic stand-up comic, focusing not just on his rise but on the difficult final years that defined his legacy in a very different way. This isn't your typical comedy documentary. It doesn't just celebrate the laughs; it confronts the pain behind them. This film is co-directed by Lana Turner, May's widow, alongside David Gantz, and that personal connection shapes everything you see on screen. From the very beginning, the documentary makes one thing clear: it's not interested in hiding who Ralphie May really was. In fact, it opens with May himself asking the filmmakers to be honest about his life, and they take that seriously. The story unfolds across two timelines. On one side, we see May's early year, his rise through the stand up world, his raw talent, and the charisma that made him a favorite among both audience and fellow comedians. Through home videos and interviews with names like Tiffany Haddish, Jay Moore, Jeff Rose, we get a sense of just how respected he was in the industry. He wasn't just funny, he was a comedian's comedian, someone who would command a room and change its energy instantly. But then the film shifts and things get darker. After a serious health scare, May's life began to spiral. His physical condition worsens, his reliance on medication increases, and his relationship starts to fall apart, including his marriage. Despite everything, he keeps going back on tour, but even that begins to break down. There are moments where he can't finish sets, moments where the cracks are impossible to ignore, and eventually it all leads to his death in 2017. What makes Come What May stand out is how intimate it feels. The home footage is raw and unfiltered. You see May as a father trying to connect with his kid. You see his love, his confusion, his struggle to hold things together. And then in the same breath, you see the chaos, his lifestyle, the pills, the contradiction in his own stories. It's not polished, it's not comfortable, and that's exactly the point. The film doesn't try to turn him into a perfect figure. Instead, it leans into his flaws, showing a man who brought joy to millions but couldn't always find the same joy for himself. At the same time, the documentary has its own complication because Lana Turner isn't just the director, she's part of the story. The relationship was strained towards the end with a separation underway, and that dual role, filmmaker and subject, creates a complicated dynamic. The film doesn't shy away from it, even showing Turner in difficult, sometimes unflattering moments. But that honesty comes at a cost. The runtime feels long, some sections could have been tighter, and at times the emotional weight makes the pacing feel uneven. Still, what the film achieves is something more important. It tells the truth, or at least it tries to, because in the end, Come What May isn't really about comedy, it's about the cost of it. It's about the pressure to always be on, to make people laugh even when you're struggling the most. And in telling that story, it leaves you with something bittersweet, a reminder that behind every great joke, there's often a much heavier story waiting to be heard. Thank you for watching. Bye.